Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the Orange Bowl, Oregon and Texas Tech. Game about to kick off in a couple minutes. So I'm finally not on wait for once. But welcome to the stream, everybody. We got the Orange Bowl, Oregon, Texas Tech. Should be a great game. I think this can be the best game of the day. And I'm very excited to watch this game. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Everybody, Happy New Year. I could make a really bad New Year's joke right now and say I haven't streamed since last year. But welcome to the stream, everybody. We got Oregon and Texas Tech. Game going to kick off in like 2 seconds. Is going to be Oregon getting the ball first. So we'll see Dante Moore on the offense on the field to start the game. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Let me put out a poll. But the kick is away, and off we go in the Orange Bowl. And it is going to be a touchback bouncing to the back of the end zone. And Oregon will come out to the 25-yard line. Alright, there's the poll. Be sure to vote on that. Oregon or Texas Tech. I really have no idea. I took Texas Tech. I took them at when I originally made my playoff predictions before the playoffs started. I just decided to stick with them. When I made my quarterfinal prediction video a few days ago, I said 27-24. But, I mean, these are two really good teams, and I think this can be a great game. But Oregon with the football, they're technically the away team. And Oregon, on their first play, Moore hands off. Winnington goes nowhere, taken down for a loss. And a loss of a yard on the play brings up 2nd and 11. Happy New Year. Hopefully it didn't jinx Oregon. Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We'll have to see if the streak of bye teams losing continues. Moore gonna look to throw, and throws the outside. That pass gonna be caught for a gain of about 5, maybe 6 yards. We're gonna give him 5 right there. But this is a really interesting matchup to watch. The Oregon offense and Texas Tech defense. Moore gonna look to throw here. Has time. Throws over the middle. Open receiver is caught. First down inside Texas Tech territory to the 47-yard line. They move the sticks on 3rd down. A big pickup. And a first down for Oregon. Johnson with the catch right there. I'm not too familiar with these Oregon receivers. Here's another quick throw. This time it's caught by the tight end Sadiq for a gain of 3 on first down. He's had a great year. But a huge part of the Oregon offense. So it brings up 2nd down and 8. Dante Moore in shotgun. Winnington wound up to his right. Ball on the Texas Tech 44. So Moore fakes the toss. Now throws over the middle of that pass. Caught by Sadiq again. He's got a first down to the 33-yard line. A gain of 10 on the play. And Oregon moving the ball really well on this opening drive. Sadiq with catches on back-to-back plays. A first down. Moore gonna look to throw again. Got time, steps when we throw. That pass caught for about 10, another first down. This has been a really good drive. Just going right down the field, a lot of it through the air, which is probably the way it's going to have to be, because you can't really run the ball against Texas Tech. Moore taking a shot towards the end zone. It is broken up at the last second. Wanted Malik Benson. He had it for a second, but couldn't quite hold on. And it brings up 2nd and 10. This is a little bit underthrown. Benson has this for a second, but then it gets ripped out by the Texas Tech defender. But if that's thrown more towards the back of the end zone, that's a touchdown. But it brings up 2nd and 10 here. That is the first incompletion of the day for Dante Moore. And they're going to hand this ball off up the middle. Winnington's got space and almost able to break the tackle, but he's knocked down after a gain of 2 at the 20-yard line. It's been an 8-play, 55-yard drive for Oregon. They've taken 3:01 off the clock. 6 of the 8 plays so far through the air. So it's 3rd and 8. Ball on Texas Tech 20-yard line. Oregon 48% on 3rd down. That's 14th best in college football. So Moore in shotgun back to his right. And Dante Moore will look to throw, gets pressured and sacked. David Bailey gets home, one of the nation's leaders in sacks. He sacks Dante Moore on 3rd down, brings up 4th down, and going to make this a much longer field goal for Oregon. But really got to avoid these 3rd and long situations against this defense, because that's exactly what they do. David Bailey and this pass rush is just insane. So Dante Moore goes down for the sack. And it's now 4th and 20. Loss of 12 on the play. And it brings up a 50-yard field goal try. And the kick is up, on the way, and it's good. A great kick there to get Oregon on the board. 50 yards. And Oregon, a pretty good drive on their first drive of the game. They get points, and they're up by 3 early in the first quarter. But what a kick right there. 50 yards. The field goal is good. And Oregon 3 points on their opening possession. Which, I mean, you probably got to consider that a win for the Texas Tech defense, considering how they look to start the drive. So being able to get that stop and hold them to a long field goal, definitely pretty good, considering the start they got off to. But Dante Moore threw the ball really well on that first drive. He went 5 for 6, 55 yards. Ended up as a 10-play, 43-yard drive. That took 4:19 off the clock. So Texas Tech will get the ball back. Or they'll get the ball for their first possession. They won't get it back because they've never had it. But they'll get the ball for their first possession. Down by 3. Texas Tech making their first appearance in the college ball playoff. Oregon making their 3rd appearance. I believe they're looking for their 2nd win. I think they won in the first college ball playoff back in 2014. Let me see. I'm pretty sure Oregon only has 1 win. Yeah, they made the playoff in 2014, which was the first year of the playoff, and then I believe they didn't make it again until last year, once the playoff expanded, although, I mean, last year they were making the playoff no matter what, because they were undefeated. Oh no, Oregon's 2-2 in the playoff. Maybe I missed it. Oh, that's including last week. So they're technically looking for their 3rd win because they won in the first round as well. But they obviously went 1-1 in 2014, winning the semifinal, losing the national championship. Then they lost last year, and then the win about 10 days ago. The kickoff here is going to be a touchback, so Texas Tech will take over at their own 25-yard line. Texas Tech offense, they're 2nd in the country with 42.5 points per game. They're also second in the country of 90 plays of at least 20 plus yards. But Burr and Morton in his last 4 games playing pretty well. 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 66% completion percentage, 223 yards per game. But Morton and the Texas Tech offense on the field here at the 25. And they'll start off on the ground. And a decent run right there. Had some space, but it closed pretty quickly. Gain of 3 on the play. Here's another handoff. This time it's a draw. Up the middle. And again, not much space. Just about a yard right here. And it's a quick third down for Texas Tech. Jacoby Williams with the carry. So Morton going to look to throw for the first time on third down. And at the outside, he'll find Williams again. And he's going to get taken down short of a first down. Got 4, needed 6. And it's going to be a quick 3 and out for Texas Tech on their first drive. I think. I mean, they're not showing, but I would be pretty surprised if they end up going for this. Yeah, so they will punt. So Texas Tech goes 3 and out on their first drive. And a good start for the Oregon defense. So on 4th and 2, the punt is away. And this one is going to be fair call at the 28-yard line by Malik Benson. So that's where Oregon takes over for their second drive. A good start. The offense moves the football. The defense forces a 3 and out. And they've got it back at the 28, up by 3. With 9:23 to go in the first quarter. But that was a great defensive possession for Oregon right there. And Texas Tech, they go 3 and out. Hold on 1 second. All right. But it is 3-0 Oregon. They'll get the ball for their second possession. Threw the ball very effectively on that first drive. Dante Moore, 55 yards. And almost a touchdown before it got broken up in the end zone. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. Oregon will get it back. Up by 3. I am interested to see if they keep a pass-heavy approach as much as the first drive. Obviously, but it's going to end up being 3 rush attempts in the first drive, including the sack. But, I mean, you kind of have to have a pass-heavy approach against Texas Tech because you just can't run the ball against them. Although I'm not sure if it would be quite as pass-heavy as that first drive. So, that's something to watch here. If they try to get a run game going, they just stick with the pass game because it worked. But the Oregon offense back on the field here. The tight ends on the opening drive for Oregon, 4 catches for 44 yards. Between Johnson and Sadiq. They got a great tight end duo. So it's a 1st and 10, 9:23 to go in the first quarter. They start on their own 28-yard line. Dante Moore in shotgun. And they will go to the ground here on first down. It's a pretty good run. They'll gain about 4, maybe 5 yards on first down. De'Aaron Hill with the carry right there. This is an extremely deep running back room for Oregon. There's like 3 or 4 guys they consistently rotate. You got Hill, you got Jordan Davison, you've got... who else? No, Winnington we saw in the first drive, and I feel like there's one more guy I'm forgetting. But it's 2nd and 6 for Oregon. Ball in the 32. And Moore to throw here. Throws the outside. Completed but for a loss on the play. Jacob Rodriguez on tackle for loss. They try a bubble screen, which does not work. So Ohio State threw a pick 6 in a bubble screen yesterday. This time it's not picked off. It's caught. But would have been better if it's incomplete, because it's being a loss of 4 in the play. So it's 3rd and long. Texas Tech, the 10th best third down defense in the country, allowing conversions 31% of the time. Texas Tech brings 4. Oregon gets rid of it quickly. Davison makes the catch. He's got a first down. Jordan Davison knocked it bounds after a gain of 12. And a nice catch and run. And Oregon moves the sticks. That time Texas Tech shows blitz. They drop out, only bring 4. But Dante Moore gets rid of it quickly. And Davison with space after the catch. And they're going to hand it off here to Davison up the middle. For a gain of about 3 to the 45-yard line. Jordan Davison, a true freshman, had a great year. The Texas Tech defense, they're 1st in takeaways, 1st in rushing yards per game, 3rd in points per game, and 3rd in yards per game. The only area they're not top 5 in is passing yards, but they're still really good. Moore looks to throw here, and that pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage. David Bailey, another big play, and brings up 3rd down. Another area Texas Tech really good is sacks. They didn't show it on that graphic they just put up, but I think they're also top 5 in sacks. So 3rd and 7 for Oregon. They just converted to 3rd and long. Let's see if they can do it again. Moore in shotgun, back to his left. Texas Tech brings 4. Moore over the middle. That pass is going to be caught, but short of the sticks. Got about 5. Needed to get 7. Malik Benson with the with the catch. And brings up 4th and 2 from midfield. So it's a decision here for Dan Lanning. Obviously, he likes to be aggressive. Sometimes too aggressive. But they will go for it. They got the offense out in the field. They're 14 for 22 on the season. 64%, 24th in the country. 4th down and 2 from midfield. Moore in shotgun and back to his left. Texas Tech rushes 4. Moore gets rid of it to the outside. It is caught. Wow, what a catch by Sadiq. Very tightly covered, but caught for again a 4 and a first down. And this is a really nice catch. This is also a great throw, because there is no space for Dante Moore to throw this ball. But a nice throw, makes the perfect throw. And Sadiq with a nice catch, and he moved the 6 on 4th down. Moore hands off, Davison up the middle. And Jordan Davison could gain 4 or 5 yards there on first down. We reached 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. So 2nd and 6. Dante Moore in shotgun, back to his right. And more to away handoff to Noah Winnington up the middle, and Winnington's going to have a nice run, gain about 9 yards and a first down. It's been another good drive for Oregon, moving the football very effectively. Morgan will look to throw here, gets pressured, spins out of it. Might be a flag, although that might be somebody's shoe. But Moore just throws it away, although it does seem to be a flag down. Might be a hold right here. So it is going to be a hold against Oregon. An ACC officiating crew for this game. Oh, that's definitely a hold. So it's 1st and 20 right here. After the penalty, 5:06 to go in the first quarter. They got the ball at the Texas Tech 42-yard line. Dante Moore in shotgun. Winnington wound up to his right. And Moore going to hand it off. Winnington up the middle. Going to gain out about 4 there on first down. So it is 2nd and 16. Empty backfield for Dante Moore. Ball at the 38-yard line. A look to throw. And Moore throws the outside open receiver that's caught by DeCarrion Moore. And he's going to pick up 13. Very close to a first down. But it'll be about 3 yards short. But a nice pickup right there. And it makes it a much more manageable 3rd down. And this again could be a 4-down territory depending on what you do right here. Dante Moore is 10 of 12, 87 yards. Played really well so far. So it is 3rd down and 3. Moore in shotgun back to his left. And a look to throw here on 3rd down. It's actually a quarterback run. And Dante Moore up the middle did not get there. He got about half of what they needed. So it'll bring up 4th and about 1.5, maybe 2 yards. And it's another decision right here for Dan Lanning. So 4th and 1. Again, the offense is going to stay out in the field. Moore in shotgun and back to his left and to his right. Oh, actually, this is Wildcat. Davison takes the direct snap, trying to turn the corner, does not get there. Doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Texas Tech defense with a 4th down stop. They go with the Wildcat. Jordan Davison took the direct snap. I did not even realize that. But the Texas Tech defense with a 4th down stop. So they actually had Dante Moore lined up to the left of Jordan Davison. But the Texas Tech defense with a nice play. So it's another pretty good drive for Oregon, but this time they turn it over on downs. As this drive, they go 13 plays, 47 yards, take 6:21 off the clock. But the offense for Oregon, they move the ball pretty effectively. 47 yards on the first drive, 47 yards here. But just 3 points to show for it, because Texas Tech defense does a pretty good job of getting a stop once they get deep inside Texas Tech territory. But Texas Tech will get the ball back here, 3:02 to go in the first quarter. And they'll get it back at the 25-yard line. So we'll see what their offense can do for their second possession. 3 and out on their first drive. So while I wait for them to come back from commercial, if you guys can hit that like button if you've not already done so, that'd be much appreciated. I don't know why people make such a big deal about this, but Lane Kiffin's apparently not going to the Sugar Bowl tonight. There's rumors he might. But he's apparently going to go to the Ole Miss women's basketball game, or sorry, the LSU women's basketball game instead of the Sugar Bowl. And that would have been interesting to see Lane Kiffin there. With having Ole Miss play there. But Texas Tech, with the football back here, they'll start at the 25-yard line for their second possession, which is actually the same spot they started on their first drive. Here's a throw to the outside. That pass can be caught. And a pretty solid pickup right there on first down, about 7 yards. He lunges forward. Texas Tech outscoring their opponents by an average of 31.5 points per game, which is best in the country. I mean, they've just dominated everyone they've played. They're going to go to the ground here with Cameron Dickey for no gain. And just like that, it's another quick third down for Texas Tech. So it is 3rd and 2. Morton in shotgun, back to his left. And Morton going to throw here on 3rd down, has time, now gets pressured, backpedaling, rolling to his right, doesn't get a throw off, and he's taken down. Back at the 14-yard line, a big loss there on 3rd down, and it's going to be another 3 out for the Texas Tech offense. Just had nowhere to go with the ball right there. The pass rush able to get home. So it brings up 4th and 20, and it's going to be another punt for Texas Tech. So Malik Benson back deep to receive. Signals fair catch at the 35-yard line. So still 3-0. But Oregon looks to be dominating this first quarter, despite it being a 3-point game. The offense moving the football, and the defense with 2 3-and-outs on 2 drives. And Oregon gets it back here with 1:25 to go in the first quarter. They get it at the 35, which is the best starting field position for either side so far. And right now, Texas Tech with -2 yards. Oregon at 100. Oh, so they lost a ton on that sack. But it is not been a great start for the Texas Tech offense. The fewest they've scored in a game this season was 22 against Arizona State, although that game they didn't have their starting quarterback. But the fewest they've scored in a game with Baron Morton as the starter was 29, which they scored against BYU the first time. Although that game could have been like the second game, 45-7 or whatever. Second game was 34-7. But that game could have been even worse. They just couldn't finish the drive in the red zone. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Oregon gets it back. Up 3-0 late in the first quarter. The winner of this game will face either Indiana or Alabama, who play. That's the next game in the Rose Bowl. I'll be streaming every game today. So obviously the Orange Bowl now, then the Rose Bowl at 4, and the Sugar Bowl tonight. But they're back from commercial here. Oregon's offense with the football back at the 35-yard line after another Texas Tech punt. Texas Tech's defense so far today, 2 pass breakups, 4 tackles for loss, and a sack. Morgan to throw here, gets pressured and swarmed for a sack. Well, about 3 guys got there to take him down. A big sack there on first down. A big loss, and brings up 2nd and long for the Oregon offense. That is just what makes this defense so tough, because you obviously can't run the ball against them, and then you try to throw the ball, and you got to deal with this pass rush. But it's a loss of 10 there on first down, makes it 2nd and 20. Empty backfield for Dante Moore, and he'll look to throw, get rid of it. Quickly caught by Benson, who's wrapped up right after the catch for a gain of 6. So it's still going to be a 3rd and long for the Ducks here. 3rd and 14, 28 seconds left in the first quarter. They do have to run a play before the quarter ends. There's about a half-second difference between the play clock and game clock. So Moore in shotgun, Whittington to his left. They motion Sadiq across the formation, and Dante Moore going to look to throw. He's going to step up, and Moore going to try to run for a first down here, and Dante Moore is taken down 6 yards short at the 39-yard line. And that also brings us to the end of the first quarter. So we reached the end of the first quarter, a 3-0 Oregon lead. And Texas Tech, their defense playing pretty well. And they'll get the ball back, although I'm just going to wait until they actually punt it away to switch the ball marker. But, I mean, that drive just got completely derailed right away with the sack, because not very often you're going to find success from 2nd and 20. So far, results in the poll, 60% of you guys said Oregon will win, 40% have said Texas Tech. Be sure to vote if you're not already done so. I took Texas Tech 27-24. But, I mean, this was the toughest game for me to predict in the entire playoff. But I've done a terrible job predicting games so far, so with the way it's gone for me, Oregon will probably win. Right now, I'm 2-3. The only 2 games I got right were Ole Miss beating Tulane and Oregon beating JMU. But otherwise, I took Oklahoma, they lost. I took Texas A&M, they lost. And I took Ohio State, and they lost. In fact, they were my pick to win it all. So, not looking too great. But Texas Tech will get the ball back here on the punt whenever they come back from commercial. Some stats from that first quarter. Oregon outgained Texas Tech 104 to -2. They had 6 first downs. Texas Tech still does not have one. And Oregon also 1 for 2 on 4th down and 2 of 6 on 3rd down. Texas Tech just 0 for 2 on 3rd down, didn't go for it on 4th down. And Oregon also had the ball for 12 minutes and 5 seconds in that first quarter. Texas Tech at 2:55. I mean, that is what happened when you go 3 and out in both your drives. But Oregon will punt it away right here as we start the second quarter. So it is 4th and 6. And Oregon going to punt for the first time. Texas Tech comes after the punt. They get some pressure on it, but it's way cleanly. And Jacoby Williams calls fair catch at the 22-yard line. So that is where Texas Tech will start for their third possession. Back-to-back 3-and-outs to start the game for the offense. Really need to get going. So, Morton and the Texas Tech offense back on the field. They'll start this drive on the ground with a run up the middle for a pickup of about 3 yards. Cameron Dickey with the carry. Had a pretty good year. I think he ran for over 1,000 yards. And was a touchdown machine. So it's 2nd and 7 after the first down run. Bring a receiver across the formation. And Morton going to throw. Morton throws outside. Intercepted! Picked off the 35-yard line. Barry Morton throws a pick. His first in the last 5 games. And that sets Oregon up with excellent starting field position deep inside Texas Tech territory. It's the game's first turnover. Just a great job breaking the ball right there. And Oregon starting inside Texas Tech territory near the 35-yard line. Brandon Finney with the interception there for Oregon. And it's a big opportunity right here for them to potentially go up by 10. So, first down from the 33. Dante Moore in the Oregon offense take over the great field position after the interception. They'll start off on the ground. Not much. Jordan Davison, I believe that was, got the carry. Yeah, Davison with the carry, but no gain. Baron Morton, that's his first pick in his last 147 pass attempts. He did a great job protecting the football, but turnover right there, obviously. So 2nd and 9, Sadiq goes across the formation. And, oh, Moore lost the ball. He's just got to dive on it back at the 42. That could have been a disaster. Dante Moore is able to keep the ball and get it back. I'm not sure if this was an option or what exactly happens here, but he goes to fake it to the back, and then he just loses it. He tries to bring it back to himself. But after that one, it's now 3rd and long for Oregon. A big loss in the play. So it's now 3rd down from the 43-yard line. It's 3rd and 20. Morgan will look to throw. Throw outside. It is incomplete. Looking for Kenyon Sadiq. But a little bit behind him. And it's now 4th down. And this is probably a punt for Oregon because you're not in field goal range. So it will be a punt for Oregon. Texas Tech is very lucky with that fumble. That knocks them out of field goal range, and it's going to stay 3-0. Despite throwing the pick in their own territory. So an Oregon 3 and out for the second straight possession. And this one is going to be down inside the 10. Great coverage on the punt right there. And Texas Tech can be backed up deep inside their own territory. But Oregon unable to capitalize off the interception. But the Texas Tech defense playing really well. I mean, after that first drive allowing a field goal, they've now allowed pretty much nothing. I mean, yeah, they technically allowed them to move the ball a little bit on that second drive, but they forced the turnover on downs and then back-to-back 3-and-outs. But Texas Tech, they need the offense to wake up. Still 0 points, 0 first downs, just 1 total yard. They really need to get going offensively. Hold on 1 second. But Texas Tech backed up pretty deep inside their own territory. They'll be starting at their own 10-yard line after a 33-yard punt. We got 12:44 to go in the first half. And we'll see what Texas Tech can do on their next possession. So far, results in the poll, 62% have said Oregon win, 38% have said Texas Tech. Again, be sure to vote if you have not already done so. And also make sure to like the stream if you haven't done so already. So they're back from commercial here. Texas Tech gets the ball back at the 10-yard line, and let's see if the offense can finally get going. Still 0 first downs in 3 possessions, 2 3-and-outs, and an interception. So Morton in shotgun back to his right. That's Jacoby Williams. Now Williams shifts to his left, and they're handed to him on first down. Williams up the middle for a gain of about 2, getting to the 12-yard line. So Morton in shotgun, Texas Tech going quickly. Another handoff for Williams, makes the guy miss. Still on his feet, and Williams getting downfield, into the open field, down or across the midfield, inside Oregon territory, inside the 40, he's out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Got a block from Burr and Morton downfield, and a huge run for Jacoby Williams, and the first down of the day for the Texas Tech offense. Boy, do they need that. He had nowhere to go right here. Was able to make a guy miss, stay on his feet. And there's just nobody else on the outside. But a great play right there for Jacoby Williams. And puts the ball at the 38-yard line for Texas Tech. Play action here. Morton looks to throw. Plenty of time. And underneath he misses Jacoby Williams on a check down. Incomplete. So it is 2nd and 10 after the first down incompletion. That was a 50-yard run play there for Jacoby Williams after they had 3 yards on their first 9 plays combined. Here's a screen for Jacoby Williams on the outside. Has some blockers, but nothing really happens, and he gains a yard. So 3rd and 9 here for Texas Tech. According to the field goal target line on the field, they are in field goal range, so don't want to take a sack right here if you're Burr and Morton. 3rd down and 8 from the 36. Here's a throw underneath. It's tipped up in the air and incomplete. Texas Tech very lucky there wasn't a defender in the area that could potentially pick that off. So it brings up 4th and 8. And let's see what Texas Tech going to do right here. They were trying to get the ball to Jacoby Williams again, this time on a slant. But it got knocked up in the air off the face mask of one of the defensive linemen. But Texas Tech going to send on the field goal team to try to get points. From 54 yards, the kick is no good. Missed it wide to the left, and it stays 3-0. So Texas Tech, they get the long run, get inside Oregon territory for the first time. But after that, the Oregon defense holds them to a long field goal try that ends up being no good. He just pushed it all the way across, kicked it from the right hash, missed wide left. But it stays 3-0, 10:53 to go in the first half. Texas Tech, 55 total yards, 50 of them on the one play. Moore high snap, bobbles it, collects it, throws the outside. It's caught by Moore. But he's got a lot of work to do just to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he's knocked down for a gain of 2. That could have been another bad play for Oregon. I mean, it already is a loss of 2. But Dante Moore just can't quite control the snap. And then he gets drilled as he lets the ball go. And we got play blown dead here. Going to be a false start against Oregon. Their second penalty of the day. They call it on Decorian Moore. Coming back from, I believe, a knee injury. Played a little bit in the first round, but not a ton. So it's 2nd and 17 after the play on first down in the false start. Moore throws the outside, setting up the screen for De'Ara Hill, and he's taken down a nice open field tackle after getting 3 on the play. So it brings up 3rd and long with 10 minutes to go in the first half. Third and 14. Let's see what Oregon does right here. Moore in shotgun. Oregon is 2 of 7 on 3rd down. Empty backfield. Moore looks to throw. Gets rid of it quickly underneath the tight end Johnson. Makes one guy miss. Close to a first down, but he's knocked down short. And it'll bring up 4th and about 3. So a good pickup, but not enough. It brings up 4th down, and it's going to be a punt here for the Ducks. But the Texas Tech defense playing really well. Both defenses actually played really well. After Oregon's defense dominated except for that one play. And Texas Tech defense, after that first drive, they've really locked in. And playing extremely well. So it's a punt for Oregon. Oh, it's a fake! It's a fake! They throw it! They got a first down! Wow! Oregon fakes the punt. The punter finds one of the up men, and it's a first down. Wow. That is a huge play right there. They faked the punt, and they moved the sticks. Wow, what a play. They faked the punt and keep the drive alive. That is a huge play right there. And Texas Tech calls their first timeout after that fake punt. But they'll go to commercial as Texas Tech calls timeout. But that is a huge call right there, because that was pretty deep inside your own territory, too. Now, obviously, it wasn't at your own 5, but you were inside your own territory, and if you don't get that, you're giving Texas Tech great field position. Because they snapped that ball from their own 43-yard line. So if you don't get that, you're giving Texas Tech the ball inside Oregon territory. But it ends up being a gain of 11 as the punter throws a first down. And Oregon moves the sticks. That is actually the second time in his career the punter has completed a pass. He also had one not last year, but the year before with Boise State. He's in his first year at Oregon right here, his first 3 were at Boise. But in 2023, he threw a 21-yard pass. And he's also run for 21 yards this year with Oregon. So definitely a guy they can do some stuff with fakes and stuff like that. But I had a feeling there was going to be some kind of special teams play for Oregon in this game. Obviously, Dan Lanning likes to get aggressive, gets aggressive right there, and it works out. It's already the third time they've gone for it on 4th down. They're now 2 for 3. But that is just a really well-executed fake punt right there. And Oregon with the football now. Okay, inside Texas Tech territory. They got a 1st and 10, 8:21 to go in the first half. The ball is on the Texas Tech, 46? Yeah, the ball's on the 46-yard line after the fake punt. Dante Moore under center. Haven't really seen him under center much. But under center, Hill is the back. And he's going to hand it off here. Hill to the right side, looking for space. Not going to find much. And he'll get 2 yards in the first down carry. Ben Roberts, who had 2 interceptions in that Big 12 championship game, in on the stop right there. Oregon on the season, 5.9 yards per carry. That's second best in the country, behind Utah. They keep it on the ground here. Hill with the toss to the left side. And he goes backwards. Roberts again takes him down for a loss of 3. And it brings up 3rd and long. A nice play right there. Ben Roberts with tackle for loss. And again, to be 3rd and 10 plus for the Ducks. So it brings up a 3rd down here with 7:20 to go in the first half. It's marked as a 3rd and 10, although it's really 3rd and 11. Because the ball's on the 47, not the 46. But they got to get to the Texas Tech 36 for a first down. Here's the throw underneath that pass. Caught. Short of the sticks. Got about 7. Bryant got taken down at the 40-yard line. And now, I think you could go for this if you're Oregon. I would not be shocked to see it. They just faked the punt from inside their own territory. I'd go for it. It's 4th and 4, and they will go for it. I don't really think there's much of a decision right here. From the 40... 2 on kick a field goal. You don't want to punt right here, especially on just 4th and 4. So I like the call here for Dan Lanning. 4th and 4 from the 40. Dante Moore in shotgun and back to his right. Dante Moore looks to throw, plenty of time. Throws underneath, call for a first down. Whittington makes the catch out of the backfield. And they move the chains. Another 4th down conversion. They're now 3 for 4 on 4th down. That's the second conversion of the drive. And they move the chains. It's been an 8-play, 29-yard drive so far. Here's a throw to the outside as they try to set up the screen, but not much happening. Out of bounds after a gain of 2. So 2nd and 8, 5:40 to go in the first half. Dante Moore already 20 pass attempts. He's completed 17 of them for 118 yards. Going to take a shot deep down the field here, and that pass is going to be caught. Wow, what a catch by Malik Benson at the 15-yard line. A back shoulder throw. Wow. What a catch by Malik Benson. A nice throw from Dante Moore, and a big play for the Oregon offense. Yep, he's got the ball, gets a foot down. Wow, that is a great catch. 23 yards, and now this play is blown up. They try to set up the screen for Sadiq, but it does not happen because he barely has time to catch the ball, which ends up actually popping free, and it's incomplete. So it is 2nd and goal after the incompletion, 5:05 to go. Although that big play downfield was a gain of 23, and they got it down to the 10, not the 15. I was wrong about that, my bad. So 2nd and goal, 5:05 to go in the first half. Moore in the pistol, and he turns around and hands off up the middle. Davison, lots of space, and Jordan Davison lunging down to the 2-yard line. Another great run. An effective play there on 2nd down. Brings up 3rd and goal from the 2. Moore hands off. Davison up the middle. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. So no gain there on 3rd and goal. And another decision about a 4th down for Dan Lanning. You got 4th and goal from the 2. Looks like the offense is going to stay out there for Oregon again. Will be the 5th time they've gone for here in the first half. Dan Lanning calls timeout here. He's trying to talk to the official about something. I don't know if he's asking for a missed flag or whatever, but Oregon takes their first timeout. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining. And it's another decision for Oregon. Now, I can really understand having or going for it or taking the points because your defense is playing really well. So if you go for it, and don't get it, you've got Texas Tech starting their own 2-yard line and having to go a long way just to get into field goal range. But if you also kick the field goal, you're going to get another 3 points, and even though 3 points might not win you the game, with how your defense has been playing, you might as well take the points you can get. But another decision here. I think I'd go for it. You've been pretty good on 4th down so far. And I'd take the chances with especially how well the defense has been playing. So I like going for it right here. Oregon is 3 of 4 on 4th down instead. Or so far, sorry. I just read the word instead, so I said it out loud. But, I mean, a stop here for Texas Tech could go a long way. Because, I mean, just give you some kind of momentum that you can potentially carry over to the offensive side of the ball. We got 4:12 to go in the first half. Each team with 2 timeouts. So they're back from commercial. 4th and goal from the 2. Been a 13-play, 62-yard drive that's taken 6:41 off the clock so far. And Oregon will go for it. The offense out in the field. It's going to be the 5th time they attempt a 4th down here in the first half. A lot of times you don't even see teams go 4 or 5 times in a game. So Moore in shotgun and back to his right. They bring Kenyon Sadiq across the formation. And Dante Moore, design roll to his right. On the run, Moore looking. Throws, knocked down, incomplete. David Bailey, another big play. He knocks it down and the Texas Tech defense gets a stop. Another nice play for David Bailey. He got a sack. Now he's knocked down 2 past the line of scrimmage. And Texas Tech's defense keeps him out of the end zone. And they get the ball back here. This is actually a really smart play by David Bailey. Because once he sees Dante Moore try to roll out, he's not even trying to rush the quarterback. He's just kind of waiting for him to throw the ball and knock it down. That's exactly what he does. Very smart play right there. So 4:08 to go in the first half. Texas Tech gets the ball back at their own 2-yard line. Baron Morton in shotgun back to his left. And Morton going to hand off Cameron Dickey up the middle for a gain of about 3. A decent first down pickup right there. Morton to throw on 2nd down. Going to take a shot deep down the field, down the sideline, double coverage, and it's incomplete. A one-handed attempt at it by Caleb Douglas, his first target of the game. It brings up 3rd and 6. So it brings up 3rd down. Big opportunity for Oregon here. If you get a stop, get the ball back. Probably pretty good field position, considering Texas Tech would be punting from their own end zone. So Morton in shotgun back to his right. Texas Tech 0 for 3 on 3rd down, averaging 5.7 yards to go. This is right in that range at 3rd and 6. Morton going to look to throw. Morton steps in with throw over the middle. Call for a first down. Finally, a 3rd down conversion. Almost takes the entire first half for Texas Tech. They finally move the sticks on 3rd down. And now they got it at the 14. On the ball quickly. Morton throws underneath. It is incomplete. Too low for Cameron Dickey. And he can't hold on. 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10. 3:23 to go in the first half. Morton in the pistol. And he turns around and hands off Dickey. And he's knocked down after getting just a yard. Been hard to find space to run the football here for Oregon. I mean, outside of that one run play, which really didn't even have much space, just a great play by Jacoby Williams just to break a tackle and get outside, they have really not run the ball well. So it's 3rd and 9. Morton looks to throw. Has time. Morton throws underneath. Caught short of the 6, but he can pick up the first down after the catch. A nice throw and catch. A first down in Texas Tech with back-to-back 3rd down conversions. They go quickly here. Handoff. Dickey lost the ball. Cameron Dickey fumbles. Gets recovered by Finney. The same guy with the interception before. And Oregon with a huge turnover. And again, they get the ball inside Texas Tech territory. Cameron Dickey fumbles. Finney recovers. The second time he's come away with the turnover in this first half. And Oregon with the football at about the 30-yard line. Wow. I mean, you cannot be doing that here if you're Texas Tech. You want to protect the football, don't want to give it away, especially inside your own territory. So after the fumble, Oregon with the football on the 29-yard line. 2:29 left in the first half. Dante Moore looks to throw. Throws outside for Benson. Makes the catch. Gain of 7. Down to the 22-yard line. We got 2:20 to go in the first half. They don't have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do. They're on the ball quickly, so they very well might. Let's see, now they slow things down. So yeah, they take it to the 2-minute warning. Still a 3-point game, but Oregon with a great opportunity after the turnover. They got it 2nd and 2 from inside Texas Tech territory, with an opportunity to potentially extend their lead. Now, Texas Tech does get it to start the second half. And, I mean, it's a good thing they do, because they could be down quite a bit. I mean, it would be 10, but with the way the offense is playing, that seems like a lot. Hold on 1 second. But we reached the 2-minute warning here in the first half. We got 2 timeouts left for each side, a 3-point lead for Oregon. But yeah, Brandon Finney does have both turnovers. He's got the interception, and he also recovered the fumble. But if you're Texas Tech, you're really going to get the offense going. I mean, you're one of the highest scoring teams in the country, and you have 0 points and 82 total yards in the first 28 minutes of this game. And 50 of those yards came on that one big play. Which, I mean, yes, it does count, so obviously you do have to include it in the total, but I mean, it also wasn't like a great play where it was a great play by one guy, where Jacoby Williams was able to make that guy miss and get into the open field. I mean, they did have a couple of nice completions on 3rd down on that previous drive before they fumbled, so maybe they can build on that and really get the pass game going, which could be big if they can't really run the ball. But Oregon with the ball here at the 2-minute warning. They've got it 2nd and 2 at the 22. Up by 3. Winner will go to the Peach Bowl and play either Alabama or Indiana. The winner of the Rose Bowl. So Moore under center. And Moore going to hand off to Winnington to the left side. And Winnington is going to get about a yard. So they're going to have 3rd and short. The clock is running. I consider calling timeout right here if I'm Texas Tech. Although maybe not, because if you don't get a stop. Oregon going quick with it. Snapped the ball already, and Winnington stopped in the backfield for a loss of a yard. They try to go fast, but Winnington goes nowhere. Now the clock is stopped with 1:37 to go. David Bailey, another huge play. Tackle for loss right there. Ended up losing his helmet on the play. But he's been everywhere so far. But it's going to be a field goal try for Oregon. 39 yards. They've already made from 50. Now, I'm confused. Why did nobody lose a timeout right here? Oh, wait a minute. They stopped play. The ref's saying something. Alright, so Texas Tech does get charged a timeout. Because I guess they're technically ruling David Bailey losing his helmet and staying down on the field for half a second as an injury timeout. But it does make sense because the clock was stopped at minute 37. It doesn't make sense that it just stopped and nobody used the timeout without somebody going out of bounds, obviously, which did not happen. But it's a 4th and 2. Will be a field goal try for Oregon. With a minute 37 to go in the first half. Put them up by 6. So here's Sappington from 39, centered in the field, and his kick is right down the middle. So make it 6-0 Oregon after a couple field goals. But Texas Tech, a minute 33, a timeout to work with. Plenty of time to go put a drive together. And at least get yourself on the board, if not even take the lead with touchdown before halftime. Although that does seem like a lot to ask with how bad the offense has been so far. Ball control so far, Texas Tech's had the ball for 7 minutes. Oregon's had the ball for 21 minutes. Oregon has had the ball for more minutes than Texas Tech has run plays. They've had the ball for 21.5 minutes. Texas Tech's run 20 plays. That's pretty impressive. But we got minute 33 to go in the first half. Let's see what Texas Tech can do. You got to try to put a drive together here. Plenty of time. A timeout to work with. Let's see what Texas Tech can do here. So the kick is away. Texas Tech will get it back. The kick goes through the end zone for a touchback and will be brought out to the 25. So a minute 33 and a timeout. Oregon has 2 timeouts. So 1:33 to go. Morton in shotgun back to his left. Morton to throw. Throws the outside. Almost intercepted again. That was very close getting picked off. And Texas Tech pretty lucky that was not intercepted. Almost able to jump in front of that. Baron Morton, not a great first half. He's 5 for 11, 32 yards and a pick. Here's a 2nd and 10 from the 25. Morton pump fakes the screen, now fires it outside. And the pass is going to be caught by, I believe that's Reggie Virgil, for a gain of 4. Yeah, that was Reggie Virgil, number 1. Minute 15 to go. Clock is running. Neither team calling a timeout. Got to imagine if Oregon gets the stop here, they're going to call a timeout. if it's not an incompletion, it already stops the clock. So 3rd down and 5. Morton in shotgun. Going to look to throw. Morton has time. Stepping up in the pocket. Morton going to try to run. Spins away from one guy, but he's taken down well short of a first down. Only got a yard. And 43 seconds left. Oregon does call a timeout. They do call their second timeout of the half. 43 seconds left. So they'll still have plenty of time to try to see if they can get maybe another field goal before halftime. But it's very tough for Texas Tech when Morton gets under pressure. He's not a very mobile guy. I mean, he also had that leg injury earlier in the year, which probably still is affecting him a little bit. I think I read the other day he's still only 80 or 85%. But I mean, he's definitely going the right direction, but not an elite scrambling quarterback. He can really make a ton of plays with his legs. So you've got to be able to protect him. And I mean, they've done a decent job, but not amazing. And that was something I was interested to watch, how this offensive line would work against another great defensive front. So 4th down and 4. Texas Tech with the punt team on the field again. They've been on the field more than the offense in this first half. At least sometimes it feels like that. So the punt is away. Benson calls fair catch at the 21. So with 37 seconds and a timeout for Oregon to work with, and we'll see what they can do. So with 37 seconds, 1 timeout for each team. I wonder how aggressive Oregon's going to get right here. The ball spotted on their own 22, so got to go a decent distance just to get in field goal range. Moore going to throw on first down. He's got some time. Throws the outside. It's caught by Malik Benson for close to a first down. A gain of 8. He ended up coming back for the ball, so we didn't get a first down. But he got out of bounds, stopped the clock, 33 seconds left. That's a good start to the drive. Texas Tech does get the ball to start the second half, so they really need to get a stop right here. Keep it a 1-score game, because if you come out and the offense looks decent, you could take the lead on the first drive of the half. Moore throws sideline call for a first down. DeCorian Moore with the catch. They faked the screen, and it allowed Moore to get up the sideline. And a nice play. So ball now on the 40-yard line. Clock is still temporarily stopped. Now it starts running. Moore, pressured, steps up, avoids David Bailey. On the run, he throws the outside. Nice throw. Inside Texas Tech territory. Johnson out of bounds at the 37. And they're getting very close to field goal range. Still 19 seconds to go. And the clock now stops as he got out of bounds. Jamari Johnson with the catch right there. This is a nice play from Dante Moore. Bailey gets pressure quickly. He's able to avoid him. And then on the move, deliver a very accurate throw deep down the field. So ball now on the 36. Oh, this snap is rolled past Dante Moore. And he's just got to dive on it back to 50. I mean, Oregon has had some problems with snapping the ball today. I mean, that one gets rolled to him. There was one that was high before. Man, that ball barely got off the ground. So I mean, that is something to keep an eye on. The snaps have been pretty much all over the place. But there's 11 seconds left in the first half. Oregon calls their third and final timeout right there to stop the clock. But now they pretty much got a play or two to get into field goal range. But that was a smart play with Dante Moore just to dive on that, because sometimes you see a quarterback try to pick it up, and as I'm sure we all know that play with Louisiana Tech, and I don't remember who they were playing, where the ball got kicked backwards like 90 yards. But just a smart play to dive on it right there. But ball on the Texas Tech 49. Moore in shotgun. Gonna look to throw. Moore pressured. Rolling to his right. Might have been a hold right there. No flag. Moore throws over the middle. That's caught. But they're not gonna have time to get another playoff. They get it down to the 33-yard line, and we reach halftime. Oh, now there's a flag down. There's the hold. So it took a while for the flag to come out, but they do throw a flag. Definitely a hold on that play. I mean, if you're Texas Tech, you just decline this and head to halftime, right? Wait, why would you not just decline the penalty? I do not get that at all. So it's a hold off, or it's a hold. And instead of going off to halftime, Texas Tech accepts the penalty and backs them up to 2nd and 33. Why would you not just decline the penalty and go to halftime? I have no idea, but now Oregon's just going to take a knee and hit to halftime. I'm not even sure what happens there. They don't even snap the ball, and everyone just runs off to halftime. So I'm not exactly sure what happens, but I mean, it was going to be halftime either way, because Oregon was going to take a knee, or the clock was just going to run out. But the clock was going to start on the snap, so it doesn't make sense that it just ran. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. But 6-0 here, Oregon leads. Texas Tech does get the ball to start the second half, and they need to get the offense going. I mean, they're still very much in this game. Still only down by 6. A touchdown takes the lead. But need the offense to get going. We'll see if they can do that after halftime. But I'm going to go take a quick break, fill my water, use the bathroom, also get some lunch, which I'm going to end up eating on stream during halftime. I don't really like to do that, but I got to find what to eat somehow. So I'll be right back in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. Finally. Sorry, that kind of took forever because I had to get my lunch. But it is a 6-0 Oregon lead at halftime. A very low-scoring, defense-dominated first half. And I mean, a very interesting first half. I mean, still very much anyone's game. And this kind of feels like the Orange Bowl from last year. Last year, the Orange Bowl was Notre Dame and Penn State. As a Notre Dame fan, I remember that game very well. But you had Notre Dame and Penn State last year. Penn State kind of dominated the first half. They were up 10-3, I believe, at halftime. It felt like a lot more, but it was only a one-score game. And the Notre Dame got the ball first. In the second half, they came out, scored a touchdown, tied it up, and then ended up winning the game. So it kind of feels very similar to that. It feels like Oregon really dominating, but only a 6-point game. Texas Tech, they get the ball, they can take the lead on their first drive of the second half. So it is still very much anyone's game. Now, as far as an updated score prediction goes, I originally said Texas Tech 27-24. I don't know what I was thinking saying so high scoring. But I'm going to go with Oregon. I'll switch. I mean, it's still very possible for Texas Tech. I mean, I would not be shocked in the slightest if they do end up winning. But I will switch my prediction to Oregon just because the way their defense played in the first half was just so dominant. And their offense, I mean, they did enough. They weren't amazing, but they moved the ball pretty effectively. If they take the points a couple times, they could be up by a couple scores right now. So there's that. But I'm going to take Oregon, and we'll go by a score of, let's see, we'll finally say touchdown. So we'll say Oregon, that'll put them in 13, 16, maybe 19-14, 19-13. Yo, let's do that, 19-13. Let's go Oregon 19-13. So that's the updated score prediction we'll go with. I just saw this stat. So we've seen 6 playoff games so far this season, and Texas Tech is the 4th team to have a scoreless first half. So Ohio State was shut out in the first half last night. We saw both teams, Miami and Texas A&M, get shut out in the first half in the first round, and I think Tulane and James Madison both had points. Alright, but I'm going to work on eating lunch. I know it's not great. You guys don't want to really just see me sit here and eat, but I'll keep talking to you guys while I eat, so I'm not just sitting here in silence, but I do want to get some lunch in, especially before the second half starts, so I'm not trying to eat a ton in the second half, although it's definitely going to happen. Well, let's just go over some first half stats real quick. But for Oregon, Dante Moore threw the ball 27 times, completed 22 of them for 192 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions, and their punter, James Ferguson Reynolds, also completed a pass for 11 yards. Rushing for Oregon wasn't too great. They had 21 carries for -5 yards. Now, a lot of that is the fumbles and stuff, and Dante Moore getting sacked, but actually running the ball, they ran it 15 times for 31 yards, so still not very effective. But Jordan Davison, 6 carries for 14 yards, Noah Whittington, 6 carries for 13 yards, and De'Aaron Hill Jr., 3 carries for 4 yards. Then receiving for Oregon, Jamari Johnson, 4 catches for 66 yards, Malik Benson, 5 for 51, DeCorian Moore, 3 for 21, Kenyon Sadiq with 3 for 17, Jordan Davison, 1 for 14, Jeremiah McClellan with 2 catches for 13 yards. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Number 44, the guy they threw to on the fake punt. He's got the 11-yard catch. Gary Bryant with 1 catch for 7 yards. Whittington, one catch for 4 yards. and De'Aaron Hill Jr. 2 catches for -1 yards. Then for Texas Tech, the offense was not very good. Baron Morton with 6 completions, 12 attempts, 37 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. On the ground for Texas Tech, Jacoby Williams 4 carries for 56 yards, Cameron Dickey 5 carries for 11 yards, and Baron Morton 2 for -16, both those sacks. Then receiving, Terrence Carter with 2 catches for 15 yards, Coy Eakin 1 catch for 11 yards, Jacoby Williams 2 catches for 6 yards, and Reggie Virgil 1 for 5. But was not a good first half for the Texas Tech offense. Oregon had as many 4th down conversions as Texas Tech had first downs in the entire first half. That's pretty impressive. Both teams had 3. Alright, sorry, I'm going to try to eat some lunch right now. I'll go over some team stats in a second, but just want to get a couple bites in real quick. And we'll try to get a lot done before the second half starts. Also try to lean back a little bit so I'm not chewing directly into the mic, because that's probably pretty annoying. But let's go over some team stats real quick. 11 first downs for Oregon, 3 for Texas Tech. Oregon was 2 of 11 on 3rd down, Texas Tech 2 for 6. Oregon also went 3 for 5 on 4th down. Texas Tech did not attempt a 4th down. Oregon outgaining Texas Tech 198 to 88, and they've got more passing yards at 203 to 37. But Texas Tech, the better team on the ground, 51 to -5. Penalties, 3 penalties, 25 yards against Oregon, 0 penalties against Texas Tech, and 2 turnovers in the first half. Both of those Texas Tech. Both actually got taken away by the same guy. What's his name? Brandon Finney, I think? Number 4 in the Oregon defense. And then time possession very one-sided in that first half. 22:03 for Oregon, 7:57 for Texas Tech. There's a halftime show for the Orange Bowl? Is there really? I never even knew that. I switched back to the broadcast tab, and apparently there was a halftime show. I never even knew there was a halftime show for the Orange Bowl. There's a halftime show for everything now. So far, results in poll, we've seen 67% of you guys say Oregon will win, 23%. Oh, sorry, 33% have said Texas Tech. So be sure to vote on that if you have not already done so. I originally took Texas Tech, although that pick not looking the greatest so far. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial and halftime. Should be fairly soon. I think we've been at halftime for 18 minutes, so about another 5 or so minutes, maybe a little shorter than that. And second half should start. But so far, it looks like the trend might continue. Of all the teams with first round buys losing, so far we've still not seen a team in this 12 team playoff format where the 4 get a bye. We've not seen a team with the bye win a game. I thought that'd be last night with Ohio State, but still no. I mean, this is a game that could have gone either way, if there was a bye or no bye, because both these teams are playing extremely well. And I think these are two very complete, well-rounded, balanced teams. But I mean, I do think we'll see. We'll see at least one, probably 2 teams with the bye get a win today, because I mean, I would be pretty surprised if Alabama beats Indiana. I just would be. I don't really think that game's gonna be the closest. I mean, there's definitely a chance. Alabama's got a ton of talent, but I just think Indiana's better. But I mean, I wonder if this streak's gonna continue. And I also think Georgia does win tonight, but I mean, you never know. A lot of people thought Ohio State would win last night, including me, and we were all wrong. Alright, so the third quarter is going to start here. So I did not get much lunch done at all. And I'll just have to eat into the third quarter. So sorry about that, because I know that's probably not very enjoyable. Well, I'll try my best to eat quickly. All right, so we start the second half. We start the second half with the kickoff and touchback. So it's a ball on the 25 for the Texas Tech offense, down by 6. Offense not good in the first half, but a touchdown ties it. Or actually, touchdown takes the lead. Assuming you make the extra point, that is. So 1st and 10, they'll go to the ground with Jacoby Williams. He runs into his own lineman and is taken down for a loss of a yard. Again, not much space to run the football. So it's 2nd and 11. Texas Tech needs something to go their way offensively. They bring a receiver across the formation here. Morton in shotgun back to his right. Morton over the middle, knocked down, incomplete. Got knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And brings up 3rd and long. And they just said Texas Tech's only been trailing at halftime one other time this season. And that was in their loss against Arizona State, in a game they didn't have Baron Morton. So they have never trailed at halftime with Baron Morton this season. Here's a quick 3rd down, 3rd and long. Morton to throw. Morton gets the 3-man rush, has time. Throws underneath outside. That's caught by Ferguson, but he's well short. As he's taken down for getting just 3 yards. And it will be another quick 3 and out for Texas Tech. So the second half starts, and not much has changed for the Tech offense. On the year, they're averaging 480 total yards per game. Today, they're at 90. So it has not been very good. But another punt for the Texas Tech offense. Malik Benson back deep to receive. And Benson fields this at the 31. On the return, Benson getting to the outside, crosses the 40. Benson inside Texas Tech territory, down the sideline, is out of bounds at about the 45. A great return from Malik Benson sets Oregon up with excellent starting field position. But what a return. And Oregon with really good field position to start the second half. That was a huge return. And we're going to see the Oregon offense for their first possession here in half number 2. So 1st and 10, 13:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. Oregon with the football back. Dante Moore, nearly 200 yards passing in the first half. Moore, hands off, Winnington up the middle for about, again, 2 yards. Not a whole ton of space. So 1st and 10 here from the 39, or sorry, 2nd and 8 from the 39. Here's a throw to the outside for Winnington. Gets a block, and he's taken down a few yards short of potential first down. Make it 3rd and 3. Nice tackle in space. Keeping him short of the line to gain. Brings up 3rd down. So a big play right here for the Texas Tech defense. Try to get a stop, holding to another field goal try. Although it could be 4-down territory for the Oregon offense. By the way, Malik Benson is down over on the sideline. Getting the right leg work done, so hopefully he's okay. Moore looks to throw. Moore steps up, throws down the field. That is tipped and incomplete. Off the hand of Decorian Moore, made a one-handed attempt at it. And it brings up 4th and 2. I mean, if he goes up with 2 hands right here, he's probably able to make that catch. But it brings up 4th and 2 after the incompletion. Now, Oregon with the offense out there, they will go for I formation More under center. Jordan Davis in the power back in the backfield. I don't think running this is going to work, though. They won't run it. Moore fakes it to Davison. Has time to throw. Now gets pressured. Moore able to escape. Going to try to run here, and Moore not going to get there. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he gets stopped on 4th down. The Texas Tech defense with another 4th down stop. And they get the ball back to the offense. Another big play by this Texas Tech defense. They're keeping them in this game. Oh, wow. He had Sadiq wide open. Just never saw him. Well, that probably would have been a touchdown. He was able to make that throw. That's a major missed opportunity right there. Potentially missed an opportunity to get the first touchdown of the game. But Oregon turns it over on downs. Texas Tech gets the ball back, and maybe we'll see if the offense can do something this time. Although, nothing so far. Just saw this. Whit Weeks is returning to LSU next season. Going to skip the NFL draft, and he'll return for another year to play for Lane Kiffin. That's definitely a big player to get back for the LSU defense. Even though he did miss a bunch this year with an injury, but still a very good player. But Texas Tech gets the ball back here. Got the offense back on the field. And we'll see what they can do this time, if anything. I'm almost done with my lunch. Or, not almost. It's a little bit of a stretch. But we're getting closer, so don't worry. You guys won't have to see me eating my lunch for too much longer. Morton hands off Dickey on the jet sweep. He is taken down for a 1-yard loss. I mean, the problem here is they can't run the ball, and they also have not had much success throwing it. The problem is they're trying to establish the run, which isn't a bad idea, but I mean, just nothing happening for the Texas Tech offense. So 2nd and 10. Morton throw to the outside. It's a wide throw and incomplete. Looking for Jacoby Williams, who didn't even make the catch, although it's not really like it mattered because there's 3 guys there ready to tackle him anyway. So it's 3rd and 11. Texas Tech 2 of 7 on 3rd down. Morton looks to throw. Morton gets pressured. Ball is out. Ball comes out. It's recovered by Oregon. And they're going to... Oh, he fumbles. It is then recovered at the 5-yard line. But wow. I believe that's... No, that's not Mateo Uyunglele. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. But a huge play by the Oregon defense. He gets around the edge and just completely rips the ball out of Baron Morton's hand and returns it back to the 5-yard line. But it was Mateo Uyunglele, DJ's brother, with a huge play. A strip sack of Baron Morton. It's their 3rd turnover of this game. And Oregon's got the ball 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. The offensive struggles continue for Texas Tech. This is a great play. He just rips the ball right out, and it never even hits the ground. How often do you see that in a strip sack? Probably not very often. Here's a toss. Davison, right side, touchdown. Finally. Takes a long time. We finally have a touchdown in this game. Oregon, the first play after the turnover. Jordan Davison, a 6-yard touchdown. And they extend their lead. They're about to have 13-0 after the extra point. But Jordan Davison with the 6-yard touchdown. Oregon finally scores a touchdown after getting pretty close in a lot of possessions. But Davison able to run through a tackle and get in the end zone. And here is the extra point to make it a 13-point Oregon lead. And the kick for Sappington right down the middle. 13-0. Oregon lead. They capitalize off the turnover 1 play later and get in the end zone. Great play all around. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. Texas Tech gets the ball, now down 13. At this rate, they might get shut out. Wouldn't be surprised. Because their offense is not doing anything. Hey, how's it going? I know it's here on stream, and not as much as last night. But still a pretty good stream so far. So they're back from commercial here, 11:20 to go in the third quarter. Oregon up by 13. Missed the first half, saw the Oregon touchdown though. Yeah, that was a great play. on that defensive play. But he didn't really miss much in the first half. Texas Tech going to bring this out from pretty deep inside the end zone. Jacoby Williams, oh, he tripped, but he had so much space. A flag is down. Oh, man. He got tripped by the turf monster, but he had a lot of space. I mean, a flag it ends up being down, so it doesn't matter as much, but that is still a missed opportunity. Too early for people after New Year's. Yeah, I guess so. So there was 2 holding calls actually on that kickoff return. One got declined, one got accepted. Texas Tech on the season a plus 17 turnover margin, which was tied for best in the country. But today they're minus 3. Morton to throw from his own end zone. Throws to flat for Cameron Dickey. Turns inside. Dickey breaks a tackle. Bounces off another. And he gains 7. Getting out to the 15. So 2nd and 2. Toss to the short side. Dickey is close to a first down. He spins around one guy. And looks like the spot comes in just short. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1. Really 3rd and a half. So 3rd and short. Morton in shotgun back to his left. Really got to pick up this first down right here. Morton hands off. Dickey up the middle. He's got a first down. Got 2 and moves to 6 to the 20-yard line. That is a big first down. You could not go 3 and out again right there. They try a swing pass on first down, ends up incomplete. Sorry about that. So 2nd and 10, after the incompletion. Morton, play action, gonna look to throw. Gets pressured on the run to his right. Morton throws downfield. It is... Oh, did he catch that? Wow, what a catch. Reggie Virgil at the 45-yard line. Wow. Reggie Virgil, what a catch. He gets a foot down. Wow, that is a great catch. Maybe that can provide a spark for the offense, because that was a really nice play. They go back to the ground here. Dickey. Forget of a yard. Eakin's a receiver. I don't know why I got them confused. But that previous play before this run right here, that was really nice. They go back to the ground here. Dickey breaks the tackle and gains about 4. Rose Bowl being played at SoFi. No, it's not. Not the Rose Bowl, I'm pretty sure. Why would they put the Rose Bowl at SoFi? So 3rd and 6. Here's a screen to the outside for Carter. Makes the catch. Has a first down. Terrence Carter to the 43-yard line. Moves to 6 on the screen. And 3rd down conversion for Texas Tech. This is what they need. They need to get the offense going. This has been their best drive. By a lot. So 1st down from the 43. Morton play action. Gonna take a shot deep down the field, and it is intercepted. Oh, almost intercepted. It got dropped. One, Caleb Douglas was running a post, but a bad throw. And it brings up 2nd and 10. This one should have been intercepted, but the defensive back just can't hold on. Because it's been raining. I haven't heard anything about the Rose Bowl getting moved. I don't know why it would. You saw on Twitter. I'm looking right now, but... Unless it's fake. Yeah, it might be. Let me see if I can find what you saw. No, that was a... I don't know what the right word is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't real. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. The reason they're at commercial is I think an Oregon injury timeout. So hopefully the injured player is okay. So they're back from commercial. Here is 2nd and 10 for Texas Tech. After they took a shot on 1st down, almost got picked off, but very lucky it's incomplete. Here's a toss to the right side, and Williams goes nowhere. Lost a yard, maybe 2, and brings up 3rd and long. So it brings up 3rd and about 11. And Texas Tech just has not had much space to throw the football. Brings up 3rd down. And about 11. Morton in shotgun, Williams to his right. Probably 4 down territory for Texas Tech. Morton looks to throw. Throws outside. It is... Oh, caught by Carter. What a catch. He reaches the ball towards the marker. He's going to be about a yard short, but wow, what a catch by Terrence Carter just to hold on to that. He stretched towards the 1st down marker, so he might have gotten there. I mean, I did not know how he caught this. But it is 4th and short. He did end up a little bit short, but a great effort there from Terrence Carter. So 4th and 1, Texas Tech going to go for it. feel like you have to. Morton motions out of the backfield. Going to be direct snap to Jacoby Williams, who fakes it, and Williams is not going to get there. He faked it to Cameron Dickey. They tried to run a read option between the two running backs, and it just did not work. The Oregon defense gets a stop on 4th down, and they get the ball back. Still up 13. A big stop right there. So Oregon with the handoff here to De'Ara Hill to the left side, and he'll pick up about 5 there on 1st down. Brings up 2nd down. Oregon defense showed up. Yeah, they really have. They're playing really well. Moore hands off. Here's Davison up the middle, and he'll gain 3. Getting to the 44-yard line, 3rd and 1 here for the Ducks. So 3rd and short. Moore in shotgun here. Oregon, they're 0 for their last 9 on 3rd down after starting 2 for 3. They're going to play action. Moore rolling to his right, looking, and he's going to try to run it for a 1st down. He's got a 1st down. Going to gain 2 on the scramble and move the sticks. I thought it was a terrible call on 4th down. Yeah, I can definitely understand that, especially against this front, already not running the ball effectively. I mean, I can understand if you're trying to, like, confuse the defense, but it just did not confuse them at all. See, I'm kind of with you right there. Not a great call. So we got 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 13-0 Oregon. From their own 46, Moore under center. Davison is the back. And here's a handoff. Davison up the middle. Breaks the tackle. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 on the play. So 2nd and 8 here for Oregon from their own 48. Moore going to keep it on the option here. And Dante Moore lowers the shoulder and going to pick up 4, maybe 5. Not really sure Oregon wants to see him doing that. But he gains 5. Oh, uh-oh. Dante Moore limping after that one. That is not something you want to see. Hopefully he's okay. Dante Moore in shotgun back to his left. And he'll hand it off here. Whittington up the middle, not much space. Just about a yard, maybe 2, and it brings up 4th and short. I'd fully expect Oregon to go for this one. It's 4th down and 2. 3:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Oregon 3 of 6 on 4th down, sorry. Moore in shotgun back to his right. They bring Sadiq in motion. Moore gonna look to throw. Dante Moore under pressure, throws over the middle. Intercepted! Ben Roberts with the interception, and he brings it back to the 45-yard line. Texas Tech's defense takes the ball away for the first time. Something they did a ton in the regular season. They have their first one right here. That is a big play right there. Maybe that can give them some momentum. And they can carry it over into the offensive side of the ball. Ben Roberts had 2 forced turnovers in the Big 12 championship game. He's got one here. And Texas Tech with the ball back. Really just a not great play for Dante Moore. Got to throw the right to him. It's what they needed. Yeah, it really is. There's something to go their way, and maybe they can build on that on the offensive side of the ball. So they got a turnover. They did force so many of those in the regular season, and maybe that can jumpstart the offense because, I mean, turnover is really what made their whole team go in the regular season. Just wrong having the Rose Bowl or the Orange Bowl play in the middle of the day. Yeah, it does feel a little weird to have the Orange Bowl at 12 o'clock. But I mean, they also didn't want to move the Rose Bowl to 12. You also can't 'cause it's in California. That'd be a 9 a.m. start. Or the Sugar Bowl. Well, I mean, that is the one negative thing about having these playoff games the way they are. You've got some weird start times for some bowl games that have a lot of tradition to them. Alright, so we're back from commercial. We got 3:06 to go in the third quarter. I'm also almost done with lunch. So 1st and 10 from the 45. A handoff. Williams has some space, getting to the outside. Tries to cut back inside, but he slips and is taken down for getting a 4. They got a false start here against Texas Tech. The right tackle moves early. And it'll back him up 5. So it's 2nd and 11. And right when you had a good first down play, you got 4. You could maybe build on that, stay on schedule. You got backed up. And now another false start here. Gonna make it 2nd and 16. That is not good. Back-to-back false starts without even running a play. And it goes from 2nd and 6 to 2nd and 16. This time it's against the other side, it's the left tackle. Well, here's a draw for Jacoby Williams. Gets a block. Williams with space. Wow, maybe that was what they needed. They found space with Williams, And he's able to pick up 13 yards, make it 3rd and 3. Third down, Williams is going to get a first down. Wow. Got another 3 yards, move the sticks. And a 3rd down conversion right there. So 1st and 10 now from the 45. Morton, play blown dead again. They want it to go quickly. Oh, so before this play, they're going to take a look at it and see if he got there. I thought he did, but they're going to take a look at the spot. I mean, if you're Texas Tech, you're going to go for it on 4th down, but still makes a difference if it's 3rd and short or 4th, or 4th and short or 1st down. But he's got to get to the 45, and he fights through initial contact. You can't see if he's down or not from that angle. So they do confirm the call, or uphold the call, because there's just nothing to overturn it. So the call stands. So it's a 1st down for Texas Tech, minute 51 to go in the 3rd quarter. So 1st down from the 45, Morton looks to throw. Morton throws to Williams in the flat, and he's taken down for the end of 2, maybe 3 yards. He's been their best offensive player so far. He's made some plays. Nobody else really has. Second and 8 is a direct snap to Williams, who faked handing it to Morton, and then turns to the left side and gains about 6 or 7 yards. Again, they're on the ball quickly. Morton, another handoff. Williams, up the middle, has a 1st down to the 33-yard line. But another nice drive. I mean, this has been your best drive of the day by far for Texas Tech. So 35 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Morton and shotgun back to his right. Morton play action, looks to throw. Takes a shot down the field. It is caught. Terrence Carter to the 8-yard line. A nice play there for the Texas Tech offense. They really needed that. The big plays downfield just haven't really been there. But there's one right there. And I'm going to go get a tissue real quick. Be back in 10 seconds, if that. So 1st and goal, Texas Tech will not snap the ball. Will instead head to the 4th quarter. But they'll have a 1st and goal at the 9-yard line to start the 4th. And a much better 3rd quarter for Texas Tech. I mean, still a 0 on the scoreboard, but... And they also had the first touchdown of the game, but... I think they still played pretty well. The offense has started to move the ball a little bit. That is definitely a positive thing. And if they can get a touchdown right here... This is a whole new game. And they're still not even out of it. 13-point game. They can definitely come back. And if the offense scores a touchdown here, that can give you some confidence offensively. That would be big. And you've also got to imagine it is 4-down territory if you get the 4th down on this possession. But we wait for them to come back from commercial as we enter the fourth quarter. Oregon up 13 in a game that's been pretty much dominated by them so far, although Texas Tech, they can be right back in this game with a touchdown. Alright, notice that the swap, I'm actually almost done. Only a couple more buttons and I'm done. So first and goal here for Texas Tech. Morton, hands off. Dickey makes the guy miss in the backfield, and then he's hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped at the 9-yard line. So second goal from the 9. Neither red zone offense or red zone defense right here very good. Texas Tech the 97th red zone offense, Oregon the 117th red zone defense. So neither very good. We'll see which one has the advantage here. Here's a flip to Carter on the jet sweep. He's trying to turn the corner, and he's knocked out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard, and he takes somebody out on the sideline. More to throw here on third and goal. Has time. Throws. End zone. In a double coverage and intercepted. That was a bad decision to throw that ball. It's Finney again on the interception. His second of the game. His third turnover he's come away with. That was a bad decision to throw that ball for Barry Morton. It's the fourth turnover of this game for Texas Tech. And I mean, I don't know what he's doing right there. He's way on the throw. It's double covered. Alright, it's actually not completely double covered when he throws that. Just a good play by the corner to drift back and pick that off. But I mean, that's not a good one right there. Brandon Finney with his third takeaway of the day. He's got 5 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a fumble recovered. So Oregon, now with a 13-point lead, they got the ball back, holding Texas Tech off the board. And they hand off to Winnington in the first play for a gain of 4. So second down and 7 here from the 23. Moore and shotgun back to his right. They toss it to the right side for Winnington, and he's knocked down after getting a 4. Took a big hit on that one. So 3rd down and 3. Oregon is 3 of 14 on 3rd down today. Moore gonna run it here up the middle, runs into his own lineman, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard. A little surprised to see him run Dante Moore right there because he came up limping on the last drive. So pretty surprised to see that. But it's now 4th down, and Oregon goes 3 and out. So the Texas Tech defense gets a stop. Now they just gotta hope the offense can move the ball and they don't turn it over in the end zone this time. Texas Tech still very much in this game. The punt here goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line, but a flag is down. If this is against Texas Tech and they wind up offside or something, that's big because it was 4th and short. Oh my gosh, it is. It's offsides against Texas Tech. And the penalty gives them 5 yards and results in an Oregon 1st down. That is a terrible penalty right there for Texas Tech. They just gift Oregon a 1st down. One of the guys just starts moving across too early. And he's in the neutral zone at the snap. That's a bad penalty right there. Oregon goes to the ground here, Hill to the left side. About 4 yards on 1st down. Getting from the 33 to the 37. Second and 7, here's a swing pass for Hill. And he'll get another 4 yards. He's a little slow to go up, but he's eventually helped to his feet. Moore throws outside, call for a 1st down. Huge gain here. Jaden Lamar inside Texas Tech territory, down to the 33-yard line. A huge catch and run right there for one of his first snaps of the game. For Jaden Lamar, that's the 4th running back they use. Haven't seen much of him, but a huge catch and run right there. Wow, that is a big play. And I'm also finally done with lunch. It only took me like an hour and a half. Or an hour and plus. It took a while, but we're finally done. So 1st and 10 here from the 33. More play action, going to look to throw. Wanted to go deep, now he's going to try to run. And he's taken down from behind after getting about 3. Moore pretty lucky he didn't fumble right there because the guy did go for the ball. So 2nd and 7. Moore will hand off. Jaden Lamar is going to try to cut up the middle, but he's got nowhere to go, and he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 7. 8:40 to go. Clock is running. Texas Tech kind of running out of time. They're going to get the ball back, but they had that bad penalty in the punt and extended the drive for Oregon. Oregon is 4 of 16 on third down. I mean, the Texas Tech defense has been able to get off the field. They've been able to get stopped. The offense just done nothing, giving the ball right back. Moore, over the middle, it is caught. Short of the first down. Sadiq makes the catch. Uh-oh, Dante Moore is slow to get up again. He was limping before. Hopefully he's okay. He's up to his feet there. And Oregon with an injured lineman down on the field. Hopefully he's okay. But now 4th and 2. A decision here for Dan Lanning. Because, I mean, you're already up 13. You've gone for it 1,000 times on 4th down today. I mean, you could go for it again and try to take more time off the clock. But you could also... I don't know if I like that, though. You can... I'm more thinking kick the field goal. Because you kick the field goal, you go up by 16, you add 3. I'm not sure. I understand it both ways. I think I might go for it. But because, I mean, a field goal, it doesn't really do much. Like, you force Texas Tech to need 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, but, I mean, they've already gotten... They still need 2 touchdowns right now, whether you kick the field goal or don't kick the field goal. So, I think I might go for it. But we'll have to see what they end up deciding. It's 4th and 2 from the 25. The Texas Tech 25-yard line after a 5-yard throw to Kenyon Sadiq. So, I mean, it's an interesting decision right here. I go for it. I mean, Oregon's already gone for, I think, 6 so far. Or maybe it's 5. They've gone for a lot. I'd go for it. What? A field goal doesn't really do you much. I mean, Texas Tech, they already need a touchdown. Or 2 touchdowns. The only thing a field goal does, it makes you need 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions. But they will kick the field goal here. It'll be a 43-yard field goal. And the kick is right down the middle. So the field goal is good. Oregon goes up by 16. And it's now 16-0. As they now have a 43-yard field goal. And Texas Tech will get the ball back. Like, I get the thinking of taking the 3 right there. But, I mean, Oregon, they've been super aggressive so far, so I would definitely understand going for it as well. I would have just gotten aggressive and trusted my defense like they've done pretty much the entire game. Also, if I'm Oregon, knowing my defense hadn't a lot of points so far. So that's the thinking there. I mean, I definitely understand kicking the field goal. But that's just my thinking. Well, we got 7:53 to go here. Oregon kicks this off, and we'll go through the end zone for a touchback. And come out at the 25. Oregon got this game. Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, if Texas Tech hasn't scored a point in, what is it, like 53 minutes? I doubt they'll score 16. 52 minutes. I doubt they'll score 16 in the next 7 minutes and 53 seconds. Possible, just very unlikely. I'd agree with Oregon got it. Morton going to look to throw, and he throws behind Jacoby Williams, and it's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. Baron Morton today has not been very good. He's 14 for 26, 117 yards, and 2 interceptions. He also had another interception get dropped. We had some flags here. I think every official who had a flag threw one. Another false start. It's actually a snap infraction, so they started to snap the ball and then stopped. But 7:50 to go. It's now 2nd and 15. Morton looks to throw here. Throws over the middle. That's caught by Carter. And Carter going to get to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line before he's taken down. Still brings up a 3rd down here for Texas Tech. Texas Tech going to go quickly here. Morton in shotgun. Going to look to throw. 3rd and 7. Morton throws underneath for Jacoby Williams. Makes the guy miss. Makes another guy miss. But Williams only going to get a yard, maybe 2. So now it's 4th down. Seven minutes to go. 7:10 to be exact. It's 4th and 5. I think you might have to go for this right here. They will go for it from their own 30. Morton looks to throw. Morton steps up, gets pressured and sacked. Baron Morton goes down. The Oregon pass rush gets home, and they force a turnover on downs and pretty much seal this game. 6:53 to go. They get the ball back. The Oregon defense with another big play. And now they get the ball at the 25-yard line. Up 16 with 7 minutes to go. Yeah, Oregon, they're in a great spot to win this game. Up 16-0. The defense with another turnover on downs. This Texas Tech offense just cannot do anything. They have 198 total yards. And they've turned it over 4 times. Right now they're averaging 3.6 yards per play. Now, I mean, Oregon hasn't really been too impressive from a yards per play standpoint either. They're at 4 yards a play. But I mean, they've at least had positive plays. Texas Tech, they've had like 2 good plays. They had the Jacoby Williams run, and they had the throw to the outside for, I think that was Reggie Virgil on a couple drives ago. But they just have not gotten anything going. Like, I mean, their defense has kept them in the game, but the offense just doesn't do anything. But the winner of this game will face the winner of the next game. Which is the Rose Bowl. We got Alabama, Indiana. I'll be streaming that as well. I'll be streaming every college football playoff game. So the Rose Bowl in about an hour. I'll be streaming the Sugar Bowl after that, and then the 2 semifinal games in the national championship. So they're back from commercial here. Oregon with the football at the Texas Tech 25. Their defense has absolutely dominated this game. Offense has been okay. So 1st and 10 from the 25. Dante Moore in shotgun back to his right. They bring Kenyon Sadiq in motion. And Dante Moore hands off to Noah Winnington up the middle for about a yard. So 2nd and 9. By the way, the Oregon lineman who got hurt on that previous drive, he's back out there. Their right tackle. Here's another handoff. Whittington up the middle. Again, not much, just about a yard. So it brings up 3rd down and 8. 6 minutes to go. Got the ball on the Texas Tech about the 23-yard line. So 3rd and 8, 5:35 to go. Moore tosses it Whittington to the left side, and he's got some space, but he's taken down short of a 1st down, a gain of 5, and brings up 4th and 3. 5:20 to go. Clock is running. So another field goal try here for Oregon. On 4th and 3. To put them up by 19 to make it a 3-score game. This will be a 36-yard field goal from the left hash. And the kick for Sappington is no good. He missed it. Wide to the left. He can't hit from 36. And it stays a 2-score game. So it stays 16-0. Still a 2-score game. I mean, you wouldn't think so with how this game's gone, but there's a chance that kick ends up being pretty big. Although, it seems pretty unlikely. But Texas Tech will get the ball back, and we'll see what the offense can do for their next possession. I really don't know why I keep saying that when the offense just consistently done nothing. I mean, their best drive was a 12-play, 57-yard drive. Actually, no, their best drive was 6 plays, 54 yards, which was the one where they got 50 of those 54 yards in one play. Early in the 2nd quarter, I think that was, and then missed a field goal. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. Just saw this. Apparently, Lamar Jackson's going to play for the Ravens on Sunday night. Yeah, it seems like Lamar Jackson will be back. That'll be big for them. I'm working on my NFL prediction video right now. Well, not right now, but I was working on it a little bit before I started streaming. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Texas Tech gets it back. Down 16. We need pretty much a miracle at this point with how bad the offense has been. Score 16 in the final 5 minutes. Would be very impressive. Alright, so they're back from commercial. Texas Tech are getting the ball back after the missed field goal, so it'll be about roughly their own 25, I think. It's at their own 20, actually. Here's a swing pass for Jacoby Williams, and Williams is out of bounds after a gain of 6. 4:30 to go in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 4. They're going to really need to push the ball downfield here. But they just have not done that. So Morton going to look to throw on 2nd and 4. Underneath that pass caught by Carter. And he'll pick up about 4 and a first down. Texas Tech top 5 in the country in yards per game and points per game. But today they've got less than half the amount of yards they're used to and 0 points. So Morton in shotgun back to his left. Gonna look to throw. Morton plenty of time to throw, like all day. Pump fakes. Now he goes deep downfield. Double coverage. And it is incomplete. Looking for Caleb Douglas. But couldn't get him. And it brings up 2nd and 10. I mean, he had all day to throw right there. Just nowhere to go. So it's 2nd and 10, down to 3:37 to go. Morton in shotgun back to his left. They're being Carter across the formation. And Morton going to look to throw. Gets pressured. Throws incomplete. Receiver well past that spot already. Yeah, I did not expect this game to be this one-sided. I expect Texas Tech to win. That pick looks terrible now. Yeah, this Oregon team is definitely very dangerous going forward. Morton going to look to throw. Going to step up and try to run here. And Baron Morton taken down after a gain of 6. If Oregon does get the rematch against Indiana, I mean, that is going to be an interesting one. Obviously, I know Indiana went to Oregon and won, but that will be very interesting. 4th and 4, Morton to throw. Gets pressured and sacked again. Back at the 28-yard line, Morton goes down. Oregon's defense with another sack, another turnover on downs. And Baron Morton a little slow to get up. So hopefully he's okay. But with 3:10 to go, the Oregon defense with another sack, another positive play for their defense. And they'll get it back. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what happens here. This guy's just wind up along the line of scrimmage. Nobody blocks him. I mean, by the time the left tackle realizes he's supposed to block him, he's sacking the quarterback already. But it is the 4th time Baron Morton has been sacked today. 3:10 to go in the 4th quarter. And Oregon with the ball back. There's a handoff up the middle. Davis and runs somebody over. And picks up about 7 yards. So 2nd and 4. 2:51 to go. Texas Tech called their first timeout after that first down run. Oregon, they have 4 takeaways today defensively. That's their most since 2023 when they played Texas Tech. They played at Texas Tech in that game. And they won. I think that game was a shootout. I don't really remember that game too much. I think that's when Tyler Shuck was still at Texas Tech. Let me look that up real quick. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. There's a handoff to the right side and a first down for, I believe that's Jordan Davison, gain of 5. Yeah, that game in 2023, Oregon won 38-30. That was early in the season. Oh, that was the year that Oregon had Bo Nix. And they almost beat Washington they played Washington twice. But the clock's just been running here the entire time. Texas Tech's done calling timeouts. Here's a handoff of Jaden Lamar up the middle for a gain of about 2. And that brings us to 2-minute warning. Also, I'm not sure for next season. Plus, we know 16 college football playoff teams don't belong. We know Texas Tech and Tulane doesn't belong in the top 16. I mean, Texas Tech, they definitely belonged in the top 16. They were one of the best teams in the country all year long. I mean, just because they're not playing well today, I don't really think you can say that about them. Look, I still think they're a really good team. But, I mean, that's the thing that gets interesting, because you see some of these teams get blown out. And, like, is Tulane a top 16 team? Like, are they, or in this case, one of the 12 best teams in the country? No. Is James Madison one of the 12 best teams in the country? Definitely not. But with all the teams getting byes losing, I feel like the best solution might be going to 16. Because then you eliminate the first round byes, everyone plays in the first round, you get the first round of games on campus. So, I mean, it's interesting with how you fix the problem, because, I mean, is there 16 teams that can physically go win a national championship? Probably not. Like, this year, I think there's probably, I would have included Texas Tech on that list of teams that could go win a national championship. I would say there's probably like 8 teams. But I know they want to have conference champions in, so I think going to 16, getting rid of the byes might be their next step if the teams with byes continue losing. But it also creates the problem you're going to have a lot of first round blowouts, because, like, I mean, look at Tulane and Ole Miss, or Oregon and James Madison. Like, you're just going to get those games. Like, I don't know, that was kind of like a lot of rambling for me. I don't know if any of that made sense. But that's kind of my thinking right now. It's true, James Madison doesn't belong there. I mean, so now here's another thing with that. Like, I like the group of 5, right? I'm not trying to, like, exclude the group of 5 from this, but another thing I want to see, I know they're probably not going to do this, but I want to see these 16 best teams if we go to 16. Or if we stay at 12, I want to see the 12 best teams. I don't want to see a team like a James Madison or like a Tulane that is ranked outside the top 20 in the playoff. Now, I know in all sports, if you win the conference, you're going to or you win your division or whatever it is, you're going to get into the playoffs. So I understand that you're going to keep that, but at the same time, I also want to see the 16 or 12 best teams, whatever it is. I want to see them play for national championship. So there's also that part of it as well. There's a handoff up the middle for Jaden Lamar, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Like, I mean, last year at Boise State, that's not a problem. They made the playoff. I mean, yeah, they got blown out, but they were one of the... They were ranked inside the top 12. They would have made it as an at-large last year. So, it's going to be interesting to see if they decide to change the playoff format or anything like that. We got some flags down after the play right here. So let's see. After the play, we got unsportsmanlike conduct against David Bailey. So it's an automatic first down, and it gives him half the distance to the goal. I could see Miami probably jumping into the top 10, including top 5, and watch the upset against Ohio State. You know, teams who can like win the national championship, or just like in general. But yeah, I definitely agree. They're a team that can. The upset over Ohio State last week, yesterday, that was huge. So it's a first and goal here for Oregon. There's a minute 54 to go. They could just be able to deal out this clock, depending on if Texas Tech calls a timeout or not. Here's a toss to the left side for Davison. He's taken down at the line of scrimmage. And Texas Tech will call the final timeout. So second and goal, minute 49 to go. Texas Tech now out of timeouts. So it's second and goal here. Oregon with the ball inside the 10 on about the 9-yard line. So Moore in the pistol, ball on the 8. And Davison is the back. And here's a handoff. Davison up the middle. And he gets it down to the 3-yard line. Gain of about 5 on the play. He's got the game's only touchdown so far. From his touchdown run 6 yards in the third quarter. Oregon can take this down to about minute 3 seconds before they snap it here on third and goal. Winner of this game plays January 9th in the Fiesta Bowl. Sorry, the Peach Bowl. Miami's playing the Fiesta Bowl. They'll play Georgia or Ole Miss. Winner of this game is in the Peach Bowl against either Alabama or Indiana. So Oregon against Alabama or Oregon against Indiana. Third and goal, handoff, Davison up the middle, stumbles. Oh, I don't know if he got in first. They're going to mark him short. Davison's going to end up about half a yard short. He tripped. And yeah, he is short. He ended up sliding into the end zone, but he was down first. So 4th and goal. Oregon going to call a timeout here at the play clock at 0. So 19 seconds to go. It's 4th and goal here for Oregon. They put a second back on the clock, so 20 seconds left. It's 4th and goal here for Oregon. But they're going to get the win and pick up their first playoff win since the first ever college football playoff in 2014. So 4th and goal, 20 seconds left. Oregon's got the offense out there. Dante Moore under center. And they're going to hand it off. Davison, on to fullback. He's in. Touchdown, Oregon. So Oregon scores. It's going to make it 23 after the extra point. And Davison with his second touchdown of the game. An 8-play, 28-yard drive took 2:53 off the clock. And Jordan Davison with another touchdown. He's been great for Oregon so far. They've run the ball really effectively throughout the season. Hasn't been quite as good today because look at the defense they're playing, but they're still really good running football. Davison, that is his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. Davison came into the game with 625 yards and 13 scores. Now he's run for, I don't know, another 35 or 40 yards and another 2 touchdowns. Let's see, Oregon today. Davison ran for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. Winnington for 31. Dier Hill ran for 13. And Jaden Lamar ran for 3. But 16 seconds left. Texas Tech will get it back, and you'd imagine they'll just probably take a knee. Or just run the ball. So the final score is going to be 23-0. Unless Texas Tech returns this for a touchdown or something. So the kick will be returned. Williams from a couple yards deep in the end zone. Makes the guy miss. And he's taken down about the 20-yard line. So there's 10 seconds left. It'll be probably just one play for Texas Tech. Just get that ready. We all know the game's over. So Morton and shotgun. And he'll just hand it off. Cameron Dickey up the middle. And Dickey going to pick up about 9 yards. And that'll do it. So Oregon wins the Orange Bowl 23-0 as they dominate Texas Tech. they're moving on to the semifinals, where they'll play either Alabama or Indiana. That's going to be a great matchup, especially if they get that rematch against Indiana. If they get Alabama, I mean, I don't really think Alabama's going to play that well today, so I don't think they'll win. But if they end up winning, I mean, I guess they are a little bit better than I think. But if Oregon plays this way, they're probably going to dominate. Because Alabama, well, I mean, I don't know. They can't run the ball, but I mean, Texas Tech couldn't run the ball either. And I think Alabama could throw it more effectively, but I don't know. I'd fully expect it to be an Oregon-Indiana rematch. And I would definitely like to see that. But final score 23-0. Oregon wins the Orange Bowl, moves on to the the semifinals. Wow, that is a long time ago. Oregon, it's their first shutout in a bowl game since 1917. That's pretty impressive. That's like, what is that, 109 years? 119 years? That's a long time. Alright, but that's where I'm going to end this stream. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe, turn on notifications so you guys don't miss any other upcoming videos or upcoming streams. I'll be live in probably about 35-40 minutes for the Rose Bowl at 4 or a little after by the time that game actually starts. So be sure to turn on notifications so you guys don't miss that. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit for the Rose Bowl stream.